Well, that was a lot of graduates say that. That's what I get for not having a dope mouse. But welcome back, baby. Welcome back. It's your man Adam, front man of that band you just saw playing Modern BC. Also one half of New Age X, my hip hop crew. Shout out to everybody I rock with. All the crews in the mix. New Age X is in Modern BC. So, it's all one and the same. But we're back, man. We're back. A little later than normal, but trying not to do time slot, so fuck it. Let's try evening time slot. Out here in the desert, man. See how we doing out west. Hope everybody's been having a good week. But yeah, today, looking into Mr. Elon Musk, our good friend here. That's yeah, I say that with the quotes. But that's slicing and dicing out here like a Ginsu. The fucking Department of Ginsu Extractions, man. He fuckers chopping shit up, man. Cutting people's funding, cutting up, he says, corruption. But in my opinion, he is corruption. So, I don't see anything coming out of his pockets. And I've yet to see him recuse himself, like he said, for those conflicts of interest, namely SpaceX, Tesla, and Neuralink. But, I'm just out here listening to what people are saying and wondering if they're going to do it, hold up what they're doing. So, it makes you want to do, kind of a deep dive into the background of this guy. Get some testimony on how he's doing business, how, backlash is going on right now, all kind of stuff. So I've got some videos lined up. Usually in the description, I'm realizing now I forgot to put them in. So I'll have to edit that after the fact, but I'll get the links for these added to this video for sure. It's a work in progress, man. I ain't been doing this long, but yeah, looking forward to hopping into this. This first video we got up is from Chris Norland, and I have not seen any of these ones that we're bringing up. Gonna be blind reactions. The topic sounded interesting, so I said let's do it. But world backlash will bankrupt Elon Musk, and we know Elon's been up to all kind of BS, with his sending his heart out to people, and so to speak. And it's crazy how much sending your heart out can resemble Sig Heilin, but, a lot of people are giving him the benefit of the doubt. It is funny how everybody, but the people who actually Sig Heil are not even giving him the benefit of the doubt. They're saying, yep, he's one of us. So I look at them as the experts. I don't know about you, but if they're saying that's what he did, then I'm going to say that's what he did. So nonetheless, let's look at this. And look at this screen as it pops up. Just says reject Elon Musk. Here we go. Or reject Musk. Here we go. Let's see what this is about here.
So people are resisting Elon Musk all around the world. And check this out. This is the Tesla, the swastika car. Goes from 0 to 1939 in 3 seconds. That's the subject of today's video is resistance to Elon Musk, and this story keeps getting wilder and wilder. And I had to share this stuff with you guys because I know we need all pick-me-up to know that you're not alone and you're not crazy. The world is insane, but sane people are trying to fight back. Actually, BuzzFeed collected a lot of responses, trolling responses to Elon Musk's email request of 5 things you did last week. And I want to share some of these as well. It says, I was thinking of responding in this manner. Didn't vote for Elon on Monday, didn't vote for Elon on Tuesday, didn't vote for Elon on Wednesday, didn't vote for Elon on Thursday, and didn't vote for Elon on Friday. You also got this, responses to Elon's 5 things you did last week. Didn't do ketamine, didn't ignore my children's mother, didn't golf, didn't wield a chainsaw. You also got this, dear Elon, here's what I did last week. Got blitzed on ketamine, ignored my children, tweeted 1,782 times, wore weird sunglasses inside, got humiliated by astronauts. Also, you got this. What you did last week? And that's the response. So I guess people.
Side note, man. I mean, for everybody who's like in a management position, right, or a boss of anything, look at this. I mean, and a lot of us who are, I've been in both positions, so I know you've had presumptive bosses when they come in, they're new, they're trying to make waves, and they start just firing people or just doing unnecessary things, throwing their weight around assumptively, taking credit for things that they had no part in doing, all kind of stuff like that. This is the epitome of it right here. And I love seeing this response. This is the response that kind of bullshit deserves, to be honest, man. I wish it was easier to pull stuff off like this in the workplace without a lot of people putting their livelihood on the line, because you get a lot of BS emails or requests from your higher ups. Excuse me. And be like, yeah, okay. just give them that unfiltered answer. This is what I love right here. This is fucking beautiful.
For trolling the Elon. One, banged your mom in the back of a 99 Civic. Two, but not before we went to the Waffle House. Three, but not before we did, white powder off the koala changing station. Four, but not before we downloaded our data and dropped it off at the Chinese consulate. And five, but not before we donated our 401ks to Pfizer. You also got this. This is actually from our community. You guys are funny as well. From Mark. Mark says, I think my response would be something like this. Dear Mr. Muskrat, in response to your email, here you go. 1, wrote up a list of why I hate Trump. 2, made a list of why I hate Muskrat. 3, made a list of why our country is in the toilet. 4, made up flyers listing all the illegal stuff Trump and Muskrat are doing to give my coworkers. And 5, made a list of things to think about when that will keep me from laughing every time I hear Trump or Muskrat speak. Have a nice.
Yeah, it's swirling around the toilet. But let me be clear. It's due to both sides of the aisle. It's not due to just one side, but we are seeing some all-time fuckery right now. But let it be clear. That's just a fucking pool of criminals in that damn hall of Congress and in the executive branch. A lot of the cats in the legislative branch, judicial cats is... The Supreme Court's crazy, man. We have to do something about looking into that one of these days. But they're all criminals or they're bought. It's one or the other.
Nice day. There's someone else from our community from Woodless. Wood says, 5 things I did last week. 1, finding material to make a voodoo doll of Musk and Thumb. 2, making voodoo dolls. 3, having voodoo doll cursed by a witch. 4, striking infected pins into voodoo dolls. And 5, hammering voodoo dolls to the front door. So I had to share with you guys because, like I said, I know the news can be depressing daily, but understand you're not alone. You're in the right place here. We're all sane. And we're just trying to make it through this crazy time together. And get this, too. Trump people are also resisting against Elon Musk. Already Patel told his people ignore Musk. And now Tulsi is ignoring Musk as well, telling her people. This is what I guess and she's the director of national intelligence, so this is what she sent out. Given the inherently sensitive and classified nature of our work, IC employees should not respond to the OPM email. I guess Rubio and Pete Hegseth, Christy Noam, so these are all various departments, state, defense, and homeland security, all said to ignore Musk. And you got this. And like I said, I want you to understand that not everyone is playing along with the Musk game. There's a lot of people who are clearly resisting, as I'm showing you guys.
Playing with you, bro.
In Canada, they're looking at revoking his citizenship. 200,000 people have already signed the petition. Canada, don't let us down. Get everyone on board to sign this thing. The basic gist of it is you're like, yo, you got this Elon Musk guy working with a foreign government, right? And he wants to destroy our sovereignty. So actually, I think that's pretty good grounds for calling the dude a traitor. Why not? So I think this actually could have a shot in Canada, and I'll be really curious if they go through with that. So let me know what you guys think, especially Canadians. Please sign this thing if you haven't already. On top of that, the Musk people are getting hands.
Man, Canada right now showing a lot of backbone. They're showing the difference between being nice and being soft, and they're like, nah, we're just, we're friendly people, but we ain't no bitches. We see now why they love hockey. Them hockey motherfuckers is rugged. I don't know how many of y'all have met or hung out with hockey players, but them and like wrestlers, football players, combat sports cats, boxers, MMA, they're just a different breed, man. It's crazy, man. And they're not soft. They're warrior types. And they got a lot of them up there. And they do that shit outside in the cold. That's a different breed. I don't give a fuck if they got teeth in their mouth. They don't care about none of that shit. And they will scrap. And the ref's going to let them scrap until somebody goes to the ground. So, we're seeing that that's actually the mentality of that. But, they might shake your hand after they knock your teeth out. So, props to them for standing up against this bullshit.
Hands on more data. This is what National Institute of Health.
We would do, hopefully.
A judge has blocked them, though, in a couple agencies. The basic gist of it is, I think, and this is where they might really get them very quickly, is get them on privacy data, right? Data privacy, I should say it. Because for those of you who work in the government, you guys know this. You usually do a whole bunch of training and these kind of things on, the kind of things you look at, how to keep it safe, how to keep it from, leaking into the wrong hands, etc. And then on top of that, we don't really know what kind of training any of these people have had, what kind of clearances they've had. It's all done haphazardly. We found out like who the people are, through the press, because they tried to keep their name secret. And that was his Doge hacker people. He would instruct them to just say their first name at meetings. And many government employees were already calling, BS on this stuff. So the judge is blocking them from getting data. And like I said, I think the data privacy laws may be what ends up nailing them early on. There's a lot of stuff they're breaking, but I'm just saying this one is a thing. So again, that's the judges blocking them on that. On top of that, you got this. And I think this may be another way that sinks Elon Musk. And I've told you guys before, much of his wealth is tied to Tesla stock, right? Or you could say, the worth, and it's not a stock per se. Well, it is. It's a privately traded company. So yes, he would have ownership of it, but not publicly traded. So Tesla stock publicly traded, everyone could just dump it, theoretically, right? The other thing that people could do is they could just quit. Like, what if he doesn't have any employees over at Tesla or SpaceX? And I think that's something that could actually happen. For example, today, SpaceX.
That's what used to happen. I want to say in the Roman Empire, in towns where the elite would get, overzealous and overreach with the power and overstep their bounds, everybody would just pack up and leave and let them rule themselves. So if he ain't got nobody to manage or boss around, and he just has himself to do that too. And then it just makes sense to cut such a wasteful and vacant program. I'll see it.
SpaceX key engineer is leaving Musk's team. This person here, she wrote a goodbye. It was Sarah Spangello, and I guess she worked on with like the cellular program or something like that. And the multiple people have already left Musk. I don't think they really have much left at Tesla. SpaceX, I haven't seen as many departures, but I think it is certainly a possibility. As Elon Musk gets more and more, how can you say, what's the right word to say it? We'll say embedded with the Trump people, embedded with, whatever foreign money that he's taking, and just committing crimes. I don't know other way to put it. And there are people going to be like, you know what? I just got to get out. I don't want to be tied to this ship. And I'm just telling you guys, be on the right side of history of this one. It's clear as day that what the Musk and Trumps are doing are frankly really awful, illegal, etc. And you don't want to be a part of it. So my advice to anyone involved with Tesla or SpaceX is get out. That's it. Get out.
Real talk.
Don't be involved with it. Don't want to be on the wrong side of history. On top of that, I want to point this stuff out because you have to understand who these people are. This is like, it's this crazy political drama mixed with like a soap opera and daytime TV. and we see like who these characters are in this, movie / TV show. It's like the worst reality TV show ever because we all have to be in it, right? It's fun to watch it on TV, but like we're all in this thing.
You got baby mama drama in real time. All this shit's happening, yo. You can't write this shit. You cannot. This is crazy, man.
And we keep asking, like, how do we get on this timeline? Wow. This was the drama today. MAGA influencers at war after Ashley St. Clair's, quote, rocket babies Musk texts are leaked. Rocket babies? Is that what we're talking about now? Okay, so the basic gist of this one, this is a wild one. So Musk has a whole bunch of kids, okay?
You think that's what he calls it? Is rocket? I would like to launch my rocket. I'd be funny, make comedy legal, fucking. But I bet you that's what he calls that shit. His little fucking rocket.
And one of the baby mamas, because he's not married to this person, she's claiming, "Hey, I got your kid." She's suing Musk to like say, "Hey, this is definitely your kid," etc., and then wants custody. And I guess the way that they're framing this now, and this is coming from another person on social media. I don't know any of these people. This is Isabella Moody. These are the kind of people that Elon gets involved with. I don't know this Ashley St. Clair person. I don't know this Moody person, but I do know that they're suing Musk, etc. Now she's basically claiming that her friend is a gold digger and was seeking advice on how to get Elon's attention to have his baby. That's the kind of people these are. Let's read this together. It's how nuts this stuff is. Okay, so Isabella says, I agree with Lara Loomer, who's another right-wing influencer person. I wasn't going to post these, but now that St. Clair Ashley has leaked her private signal messages with Elon Musk after lying and saying she wanted privacy, here's more evidence Ashley planned to baby trap Elon. we're talking about baby traps. And I want to bring this up too. This also brings up a key point to where someone like a Trump or a Musk are inherently a security threat because they are so easily trapped in these kind of scandals, etc. So this would be like, this is an example, say we're seeing play on social media, but what kind of dirt would various countries or entities have on Musk or Trump if they're so easily trapped in these kind of situations? I think that's worth mentioning. Anyway, it says here, she sent these text messages in May 2023 when she first met Elon and started sleeping with him. Oh, okay. So I guess it wasn't an IVF thing, at least according to this person. She said, I need his rocket babies and I need a caption to seduce Elon in the May of 2023. She doesn't care about privacy. She planned to seduce him on her own admission, and now she's leaking his text. So I'm leaking her text to me now because of, as Lara Loomer said below, we need to condemn promiscuous gold diggers. I don't know. So these are the texts from Ashley St. Clair. Elon followed me. I need his rocket babies. OMG. No way. That's awesome. He 10,000% saw my moon landing tweet. Look, I'll take one for the team, seduce Elon, and get in the rocket to see what's up. Oh, yes.
Is this what happens in conversations after somebody notable hit y'all up? Y'all be, oh my God, so-and-so follow me. Y'all be planning the hookup. Is that how this goes? This is wild. A little sidebar. Interesting. I know there's group chats. I know there's group chats out there. I'm just saying. I know what y'all be doing.
For the sake of society. That's the kind of people we're dealing with here. I mean, it's this stuff. Now, are these email or texts real or not? Who knows? You guys can ask them. I'm just showing you what they're sharing. Well, so we'll use the word alleged for now. I need a caption to seduce Elon, thinking about the dangers of AI, etc. Elon even responded to this whole thread thing saying, whoa. And again, this is all about some sort of, right-wing social media influencer claiming that they want privacy, right? And in one way, and then another way, they're her friends, I guess, are turning on her saying, no, this person is a attention, what's the right word to say? You know the word I want to say, but we'll say attention lady who gets paid by night or something like that. We use it that way. And this is the thing is, again, I want to repeat, these are the people that we're dealing with, the Elon Musk, the Trumps, the people who they associate with, and these how easily these people can get trapped. So will the rocket baby thing become a...
I bet Elon and Trump and them got a group chat too. I bet Elon was talking big shit after he hit that. Trump's like, oh, hell yeah. All right, Elon. Yeah, Elon, I need details, Elon. Attaboy.
Scandal. This is one of many scandals involving Musk. And this is what's so crazy about Musk or Trump. For a regular person, if any one of these things happened to us, like any one of these things, like, we'd be totally shamed and lose all our friends, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But for these people, this is like on a daily basis, like be it crypto scam, baby mama scams, right? You're talking with Putin scam or scandal, however you want to say it. It's insane. And this drama just keeps on and going. And that's why I want to show you guys, I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. We want this clown show to stop. Right there. There are people resisting, as you can see from here. And I'll catch you on the next video.
When you're
good shit. Oh shit, Ticketmaster. This is one that we're gonna be talking about on a music day. Ticketmaster is the goddamn devil. The goddamn devil. But yeah, Elon having baby mama drama is just something I can't fucking get right with, man. It's just not working for me. It's really not, and I don't think it ever will. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. That shit's hilarious. I want to see an ending that only helps Rocket Man fall from grace faster, if I'm being honest. I'm tired of these oligarchs. I'll be very transparent about that. But you're the song of the opening. If you clicked on this video after the fact, or if you were here from the beginning of the show live, you know what I'm about. If you're hearing them lyrics, there's plenty more where that came from. Look at the link down, or the links down in the description and everything. But yeah, next video up. Dylan John. Everything wrong with Elon Musk. He's a smaller channel. He's only got like 1,600 subscribers, a little like 1,600, 500, 1,650. What am I talking about right now? On his subscribers, but hopefully he's growing fast. So we'll see. Let's give him a shot, man. See what he's about. micro channel to a small channel. Go ahead, bro. Hold on. Get full screen with it. Boom. Let's get it set up. All right. Let's roll with it.
Elon Musk has officially become the richest person in the world.
Elon Musk is worth $422 billion.
That is silly.
Let that sink in. If he were a country, he would be the 35th richest country on planet Earth.
Elon is building rocket ships and making electric cars.
One man's net worth rivals the GDP of entire nations. Musk represents the pinnacle of wealth, power, and prestige. Immigrating from South Africa, he might as
fucking tool. You see, man. This dude tries so damn hard, and then he's so damn high half the time. And then them two fucking things converge, and it's just some of the most ridiculous behavior we've ever seen from a so-called genius who gets excused for his weird, dumb shit because he's on the spectrum, which is very, derogatory to say. You're saying that all his negative actions are due to being on the spectrum. There's plenty of people on the spectrum who contribute and don't do negative things. And if they do, we're not blaming on spectrum. You can just be a shitty person and on the spectrum. Two things can be true,
well be the poster boy for the American dream.
People have called you the real Tony Stark.
Idolized as a modern-day Tony Stark, genius innovator, a savior of humanity, and billionaire icon. I've worked in technology for the better part of the last 9 years, working for the largest and oldest technology corporations to ever exist: IBM, AWS, and Amazon Music, in addition to spending 4 years earning an undergraduate degree in computer science. Needless to say, I know a thing or two about technology. Elon Musk's rise to prominence has come off the back of some of the greatest technological innovations in history: cloud computing, AI, and cutting-edge software engineering. He has built trillion-dollar empires from the ground up.
I'm not sure why he has to also say that he was a founder when he wasn't. I don't understand.
Well, yeah, whatever.
Musk is driven by boundless ambition and hubris. Years ago, these were things of which I admired about him, but he has become blinded by his own ego, and like the Greek tragedy of Icarus, he has simply begun to fly too close to the sun.
It was a little bit like either superhero or supervillain. You have to choose one.
This all leads me to ask one question. What happened
Icarus and Nero.
to Elon Musk?
Go yourself. Go yourself. Is that fair? I hope it is.
Zoning. Look at that.
Hi there, my name is Dylan. I am a full-time software engineer, part-time content creator. By the way, we are halfway to 1,000 subscribers, so consider helping me and my team out a ton by hitting that subscribe button down below. Back to the video. First, I want us to know who Elon Musk was before he was Elon Musk. To understand his transformation, we must first understand who he was. Elon was born June 28, 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa, into an arguably privileged family. Elon likes to claim that he is a byproduct of the middle class, but numerous sources and his father tell a different story. Elon Musk is Elon's father. He is a retired South African emerald miner, politician, and business owner. Elon has repeatedly denied claims of his father's emerald mine involvement, but let's hear what his father has to say about that.
So I sold emeralds for years. I eventually got a cutter in Elof Street in Johannesburg to do cutting and polishing of emeralds for me. And I sold emeralds everywhere, in England, Europe, Germany.
That's madness, eh?
Austria, New York, everywhere.
Elon's mother was a model, dietitian, and author. She has been modeling for well over 50 years with features and
her family was Nazi sympathizers from Canada who moved to South Africa to support apartheid, just saying.
Prominent magazines such as Sports Illustrated and Time. I don't know about you, but Emerald Mine and model doesn't exactly scream middle class to me. It's safe to say that Elon came from a pretty fortunate situation growing up, and I will say the facts don't exactly fit the narrative he likes to spin in terms of rags to riches story.
Well, that was the summer of '95. I had no money whatsoever, and I decided to start the company. I had no money.
Mr. Musk's journey to such unimaginable wealth started from a position of financial privilege. In the mid-1980s, the family profited handsomely from Elon Musk's purchasing of an emerald mine after selling their airplane for 80,000 euros, the equivalent of 320,000 euros today.
Shit.
Having an airplane in the mid-1980s? We went to this guy's prefab, and he opened his safe, and there were just...
I say everything's relative. Maybe he just, wasn't on that bajillionaire status, so he thought he was middle class in comparison to the company his father kept. Maybe some shit like that. This motherfucker's crazy. He knows. I'm so tired of people glorifying this. Came from poverty. No, you didn't, motherfucker. You came from private jet status.
Just stacks of money, and he paid me out 80,000 euros. It was a huge amount of money. Elon Musk was then made another offer to spend 40,000 euros on an emerald mine. I said, oh, all right. So I became half owner of the mine, and we got emeralds for the next 6 years. As a result of this, the teenage Elon Musk once walked the streets of New York with emerald mines in his pocket. His father said, we were very wealthy. We had so much money at times we couldn't even close our safe, adding that one person would have to hold the money in place with another closing the door. And then there'd still be all these notes sticking out, and we'd sort of pull them out and put them in our pockets.
Shit,
have you ever had so much money just like locked in your safe?
That's
to where
shit.
You're unable to close the safe door? Yeah, me either.
I would take the money home and put it into the safe, and so I would stash the money in there, you know, and I'd tell my two boys, Elon and Kibble, they can take money from the safe for anything they need. They must just leave a note, a little white note. Sometimes I would open the safe and the notes would all fall out.
While Elon had immense financial privilege growing up, he was severely bullied in his childhood years. He was once described as a scrawny, smart kid who was beaten up all the time on the playground. One incident in particular from his memoir mentions Elon being thrown down on concrete steps, beaten, and later hospitalized as a result of his injuries.
I think if you have not been punched in the face with a fist, you don't know no idea what it's like.
There are also many claims that Elon's father abused him as a kid, but a lot of these claims are largely controversial, to say the least. Later on in his life, his parents would divorce. As a child of divorce myself, I know how difficult this can be on the children of the divorcees. After the divorce, Musk went to live with his father, a wealthy engineer based in Johannesburg, after his parents' acrimonious split. Errol said that the portrayal of Musk's childhood as abusive in the biography, his memoir, was unbridled rubbish. Everything he is, he owes to me, he said. I say that with humility. I did my best. That book is not the truth. It's fodder for a play. I emailed the author and I told him that. Look, Musk's father has his own issues. From having a child with his stepdaughter to claiming that the only thing we are here on planet Earth to do is to reproduce. But alas, I am not here to litigate every piece of the Musk family. I am here to talk about the man himself. As a boy, Elon had an insatiable appetite for learning. He would often...
Side note, he's having kids with his stepchildren, you know, when we see Elon out here doing his thing, I don't think, you know, fruit falls too far from the tree, as they say, you know, we're seeing that shit. This boy, oh wait, I wonder what Arrow was like as a kid. I wonder what his mom was like. That's something I want to figure out, because I've seen Arrow do interviews and all kind of shit where, you know, there's pretty good public knowledge base on the guy. I haven't really heard much about his mom, as you know, personally, or on a personality level, or a personal level, but aside from her family's political leanings with the Nazi parties and why they relocated to apartheid South Africa.
Often read a book a day. His most remarkable achievement came after he convinced his dad to buy him a Commodore VIC-20, an old-ass computer. According to the manual, it's supposed to take about 6 months to get through all the basic lessons. He stayed up for 3 days straight and finished the whole thing. Elon was a solid student. He attended college at the University of Pretoria, eventually transferring to Queen's University in Canada and obtaining Canadian citizenship. 2 years later, he would transfer to UPenn, going on to earn a degree in physics and economics from the Wharton School of Business. His entrepreneurial spirit was seen from an early age, selling a video game for $500 at age 12 and reportedly hosting large ticketed house parties to fund his tuition at UPenn. The rise of Elon Musk begins at his very first.
Pretty sure he lived in a house that was like he owned, like his family owned, or he owned, or something like. I could be wrong about that, but that's would explain how he was able to throw those parties and, you know.
Company. He was accepted into a materials science program at Stanford University, but opted not to attend and found Zip2 instead in 1995. Which, by the way, he actually founds himself this time, unlike Tesla. More on that later. Zip2 was an online city guide marketed with maps, directions, and business directories to newspapers. Imagine Yellow Pages on the internet.
Everything from where to eat to how to get around.
You imagine the possibilities.
In modern day, this seems trivial. It was like a worse version of Google Maps, but Back in the day, this was revolutionary. Ironically, Musk, who is a significant advocate against the H-1B program and illegal immigration, was actually an illegal immigrant during his time working for his first company. He claims he transferred his student visa to the H-1B program, but according to numerous former business associates and shareholders, Musk was actually on a student visa at the time, which is illegal. His brother, Kimball Musk, direct quote, says, "We were illegal immigrants." Kimball, in fact, when they did fund us, referring to SIP2, they realized we were illegal immigrants. Elon, well, I mean. Kimball, yes, we were. Elon, well, I'd say it was a gray area. Crowd laughs. I wrote that in the script. Crowd laughs.
We were illegal immigrants.
Well, I mean,
yes, we were.
I'd say it was a gray area.
Yeah, yes, we were. We were illegal immigrants.
There really isn't a whole lot of gray area.
See, man, they always don't want the bullshit to apply to them. You know, it's crazy, man. Like, if I was somebody who was in that position, I would just shut the fuck up. It ain't your battle, man. If you were profiting while being an illegal immigrant massively, setting the foundation for where you're at now, getting funding, government funding while you're an illegal immigrant, then you just need to shut the fuck up, dog. Real talk. You're appealing the message. You're just a motherfucker who acts like what happened didn't happen, and you're part of this new wave that you ain't actually a part of, man. You just jumped on a bandwagon. You're the bandwagon jumper who tries to act like they're a day oneer, and it's bullshit, bro. You so see-through, dog.
In terms of immigration, you are either in the country you are currently residing in, 1, legally, or 2, illegally. Who is pursued and who is prosecuted is the gray area. Don't take my word for it. Actually, there are no gray areas in immigration, says Charles, an Atlanta immigration attorney. Instead, Charles says there are people who get caught for violations and people who don't. Whoa. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on who you are in the United States, when you are wealthy, the rules seem to bend a little bit more in your favor. In 1999, Compaq Computer acquired Zip2 for $307 million. Musk owned 7% and cashed his check for $22 million. Even today, this is an egregious sum of money for a 27-year-old. Elon experienced massive financial success at a very young age. I imagine this can really start to go to your head after a while. You really start to believe that you are some sort of human genius, that all of your wins are the result of your own doing. Less than a decade after essentially being homeless in Canada, Elon was now Silicon Valley's latest rich guy. It's here we see the first signs of Elon potentially turning into a jerk. He purchased one of only 62 McLarens, which is a really expensive car, in the world. He drove it around so much in the valley that he started to get a dick reputation.
Some could interpret purchasing this car as behavior characteristic of a materialistic brat.
And are you?
It's not consistent with the rest of my behavior.
But it doesn't stop there. Wow, Elon's rise to prominence does not stop after Zip2. Musk invests $12 million of his acquisition money into a new venture, X.com. Not Twitter, but we will talk about Twitter, don't you worry. The original X.com was an online banking platform that would go on to merge with Confinity, eventually becoming PayPal as we know it today. For a short while, Musk was the CEO of PayPal, but shocker, he was ousted in his role as CEO due to disagreements with the board of directors over the strategy and direction of the company. In 2002, PayPal was acquired by eBay for $1.5 billion. Musk owned 11.7% of that company, making this a $176 million payday for him. Funny enough, Musk would buy the domain X.com back from PayPal in 2017. He said it was for sentimental reasons. But this is where things really start to change. Musk is no longer a scrappy entrepreneur in Silicon Valley. He starts dreaming big, dreaming beyond our current planet. Mars. Elon had childhood dreams of going to Mars. Musk traveled to Russia in late 2001 to buy decommissioned ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, which can be shot thousands of miles across the continent. But he did this to use them as cheap launch vehicles. The Russians reportedly mocked him, asking for $8 million per rocket, more than he wanted to spend. After a second failed negotiation trip in early 2002, Musk realized it would be cheaper to build his own rockets rather than buy him. Firmly believing that rockets can be built for cheaper, Musk founded Space Exploration Technologies, SpaceX, in El Segundo, California, using $100 million of his previous payday.
How much of your personal fortune have you poured into this?
$100 million.
The company's goal was to build reusable rockets and drastically cut costs compared to traditional aerospace companies. In summary, Musk founded SpaceX by 1, trying to buy rockets from Russia and failing. 2, realizing he could build rockets for cheaper himself. And 3, investing $100 million of his own money. And finally, admitting that he only had enough money for one remaining launch. But in late 2008, oh, that rhymed, NASA awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract to deliver cargo to the International Space Station. This saved the company, allowing it to go on and develop the Falcon 9 and Dragon aircraft it's known for today. These are reusable rockets, which was a miracle at the time. Nobody believed that this could possibly be done. At SpaceX, Elon quickly gained a reputation as a staunch leader. One employee said, if Elon was not happy, you knew it. Things could get nasty. Even one of SpaceX's greatest employees, Steve Davis, experienced Elon's lack of caring. Davis was once assigned a task that seemed so impossible that another engineer said any other engineer at any other aerospace company would never have attempted it. This assignment was to take a part that was quoted for $120,000 and build it in Elon's proposed budget of $5,000.
That sounds remarkably similar to that Ocean Gate shit. Bruh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Made it for $3,900. How efficient was it, I wonder? Because that, what's his name? Stockton Rush? That dude was trying to cut so many corners and so much cost. And you see that implosion. We didn't see it, but you know, his audio, you can hear it.
Davis spent 9 months and poured his life into it. In the end, he was able to make it for only $3,900. Davis sent Elon an email detailing his greatest accomplishment, to which Elon simply replied,
"Oh hell
okay."
no! Oh hell no! Yo, fuck you, Elon. You're a bitch, bro. You're a bitch.
Man, it didn't go through.
Tesla is where this story really starts to get interesting, and I was completely blown away when researching this video. Elon Musk did not actually found Tesla. He stole it. Let me explain. Tesla was originally founded in July 2003 by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. They started the company with the goal of building high-performance electric vehicles inspired by the efficiency of lithium-ion batteries used in consumer electronics. Elon got involved in 2004, leading to Tesla's Series A investment, where he invested $6.5 million of his own dollars, making him by far the largest shareholder and chairman of the board. Musk saw Tesla as an opportunity to transition to more sustainable energy sources.
Musk engineered the ouster of Eberhard from all roles at Tesla Motors in November 2007. He next endeavored to take ownership of the idea behind Tesla Motors by denigrating Eberhard's contribution.
I'm not sure why he has to also say that he was a founder when he wasn't. I don't understand.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
When JB likes to call himself a founder, it's funny because Tristan started the same day.
That's right.
So if he's a founder, so's she.
But Elon was much closer to being the first primary investor than he was a co-founder. Over time, he pushed out the actual founders and rewrote history in a lawsuit suing the original founders to be named a co-founder. Dales Esquire writes, no, Elon was not the co-founder in any sense. He did, however, have mega ambitions for the company. He was just too shrewd for Martin and Mark. He skillfully outmaneuvered them in a boardroom coup. Martin and Mark are the true founders of this company.
So this guy staged coups before, and it's not, you know, we don't see signs of him doing that again on a larger scale. Since he already did it with a company that's massive now, why wouldn't he have the hubris to try to do it with a government?
2008,
or several governments.
Tesla launched the Roadster, proving EVs could be high performance. By 2012, the Tesla Model S finally launched, proving that Tesla could be a serious automaker. 2015 onward, Tesla expanded with the Model X, the Model 3, the Model Y, and the Cybertruck. Today, Tesla is the most valuable car company in the world, and it's not even close. Oh my God, the Cybertruck. I forgot about the Cybertruck. I sadly don't think I have time in this video to make fun of the Cybertruck.
Ooh-wee.
First time seeing one of these stupid cars.
Tesla's share price over the past month has not only pushed its market valuation to a peak of $1.7 trillion US, it has also made Tesla more than all other 42 car manufacturers combined. Musk is a very frequent critic of the US government, the government in which he has seriously relied on for financial subsidies and loans. Tesla, and Musk in particular, would not be worth nearly as much without the help of the federal government. Let's look at the facts. The Advanced Technology Vehicles Manufacturing ATVM loan program of 2009. Tesla received a $465 million loan from the U.S. Department of Energy to develop the Model S.
Cool,
Tesla repaid this loan in 2013, becoming the first automaker to do so. Tesla has also generated significant revenue by selling regulatory credits to other automakers that did not meet emission standards. In 2004, Tesla earned $2.8 billion from these credits, accounting for a very significant portion of its net income. California has provided Tesla with over $3 billion in direct and indirect subsidies since 2009. A subsidy is basically where the government gives you money because, I don't know, reasons. These included zero-emission vehicle credits, rebates for Tesla buyers, and sales tax credits. I just recently purchased a Tesla Model 3, and I got $7,500 off my purchase due to a federal program. Tesla buyers have benefited from federal tax credits designed.
So then, couldn't he theoretically just bump the price up to the mean increment of whatever the credit is across the board, and then pocket all of that money for their profit? That's how that sounds to me.
To encourage electric vehicle adoption. These tax credits have made Teslas vastly more affordable, thereby boosting the company's sales. Yet Elon constantly criticizes the federal government, claiming to be some self-made billionaire while profiting handsomely from a handful of federal loan programs and federal subsidies. This is frankly ridiculous. Some of the greatest technological innovations in history have come as a result of publicly funded programs. The internet was a publicly funded program. Oh, how quickly we forget.
Are you sincerely trying to save the world?
I'm trying to do good things. Yeah, I mean, saving the world is not. I mean,
but you're trying to do good things, and you're a billionaire. I mean, yeah, that seems a little bit like either superhero or supervillain. You have to choose one.
The shift. Elon Musk's shift into the man he is today begins in 2008. I like to call this his normal people problems era. That's got like a ring to it. Normal people problems. You can make a song out of that. Anyways, both Tesla and SpaceX were on the brink of collapse, and he's divorcing his very first wife, Justine. Justine paints Elon, while charming and ambitious, as this guy with very serious alpha energy, especially when it came to their marriage. She describes being constantly pushed to this idealized version of perfection, all while trying to keep up with his crazy billionaire lifestyle. Elon would frequently emotionally abuse her by saying, "If you were my employee, I would fire you." But the real kicker here is, despite all of the glitz and glamour, there was a very deep emotional void within Elon. Justine mentions emotional manipulation, the growing distance, and ultimately the gut-wrenching decision to divorce him. Justine says, "I had just turned into a trophy wife and I hated it." Meanwhile, at Elon's companies, the behavior looks very similar. Elon's leadership style continued to stay fierce, to say the least. To crank up the pace of the Tesla Model S design, they had 2 sets of employees working 24 hours a day. To quote the author, "It's just never enough for Musk." For example, in 2010, SpaceX had just successfully launched their Dragon capsule, and right before the party, Musk called in his top executives to yell at them in front of their significant others because one of his parts for a future rocket was behind schedule. He was worth millions of dollars at the time and was borrowing money to pay for rent.
And even with SpaceX, I mean, I invest. My proceeds from PayPal after tax were about $180 million. 100 of that went into SpaceX, 70 into Tesla, and 10 into SolarCity. And I literally had to borrow money for rent.
If this doesn't scream irresponsibility or poor life decision making, then I don't know what does. I don't know how you can be worth hundreds of millions of dollars and not have, a few grand for wherever the is living. There was a moment in Elon's career where he had to nearly choose between his 2 children. No, not a couple of the real ones, SpaceX and Tesla. But at the very last possible moment, Tesla secured an emergency $40 million investment, and NASA awarded SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract. By 2010, Musk moves into what I like to call his eccentric visionary phase. This is sort of the Elon Musk that I knew him for. Yeah, he was crazy, but he was crazy in the sense that he liked to dream big, move fast, and break things. All the classic, colloquial, cliche Silicon Valley terms.
Elon Musk looks at the world as it could be. How extraordinary could it be for all of us to rocket to Mars. How could it be if our cars went 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds?
No problem was too big to solve Steve Jobs-like innovation. He made wild claims. Tesla would have a fully self-driving car by 2015, something that is still technically not true today. My car can drive itself, but it needs me there to administer the self-driving, which isn't really full self-driving if you ask me. He claimed humans would be on Mars by 2020. He claimed that AI would be a bigger threat than nuclear bombs, which I don't know. I'll give him credit for that one, I guess. 1 of 3, Elon, in 2010. Great job, buddy.
That was not original, though. That's been predicted long before.
Elon has multiple kids, but often treats them like science experiments. He joked in interviews about raising them like little robots and called one of them, quote, Robo Musk. He primarily communicates with them via email, of all things. Email? These aren't deal breakers by any means.
It don't get more cringe than that. You communicate with your kids by fucking email, bruh. As per my last email, don't fucking call me, email me. That's crazy, Elon. How the fuck do you come to the conclusion? I think the most efficient way that I can keep my kids from calling me in the middle of my fucking ketamine binges is just have email as the default protocol. This fucking guy treats his kids like employees. God, and you don't think he wants to enslave humanity? This motherfucker's a sci-fi villain.
For an innovator like Elon Musk, it's just weird. It's just strange. Like, why? Why are you talking to your kids over email? What?
This is the underground network he envisions. Electric cars using street-level elevators to drop down into a series of tunnels.
In 2013, he plays out this Hyperloop fantasy, although this is pretty in line with his brand of crazy, dream big, technological innovator. In 2014, Musk open sources a bunch of the patents to Tesla, but at the same time, he decides to sue people for stealing his intellectual property. Open sourcing is kind of like a gift to humanity of sorts. You can't sue people for using open source content or stealing your intellectual property. Don't open source it in the first place. Keep it as trade secrets or your own personal IP. It's like getting a copyright claim on YouTube on uncopyrighted content. It just doesn't make any sense.
It's
now,
bitch-made behavior, dog.
It's 2015, and Elon's Twitter era has officially begun. During this time, Musk also co-founded OpenAI, which today we know as the maker of ChatGPT, but also at the same time continues to belabor the point that investing in AI will lead to human extinction.
A warning from Tesla Motors CEO Elon Musk. It has nothing to do with cars. Instead, Musk warns about artificial intelligence, which he has called more dangerous than nuclear weapons.
He also keeps calling AI summoning the demon.
With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon.
And later left OpenAI when things didn't go in the direction he wanted, something of which he is super jealous about right now after the Stargate announcement from the federal government. In December 2016, he tweeted about being stuck in traffic and casually decided to start the Boring Company. A year later, it was selling real flamethrowers on the internet. You can't make this shit up. It's like I'm describing an episode of Silicon Valley, and we've hardly even made it up to modern day. As a marketing stunt, he launched the Tesla Roadster into space aboard a SpaceX rocket, which is, I mean, that's, I don't know, honestly pretty cool. The car is still orbiting the sun today, serving no real purpose. Shortly after we arrive at the year I believe Elon truly lost it, 2018. Musk tweeted he was going to take Tesla private at $420 a share, claiming he had, quote, funding secured. Turns out he didn't. He was just making a weed joke, I guess. The SEC fined him $40 million and forced him to step down as chairman of Tesla. Shortly after, a British diver criticized his, quote, kid-sized submarine for the Thai cave rescue, Musk lashed out and called him, quote, the pedo guy. The diver sued him for defamation. Although Elon did end up winning the case in defamation, this was a PR disaster for him. This was also the year that Elon went on Joe Rogan and smoked weed for some reason. Tesla shares fell 9% the following day, and SpaceX had a huge WTF moment because they had contracts with the federal government and NASA. I swear, this guy has more drama than anyone in the history of mankind. But along comes COVID to tarnish his reputation even further. 2020, a year that I'm sure is everyone's favorite. Musk dismisses COVID, calling the lockdowns, quote, fascist, and downplaying the coronavirus on Twitter. In March 2020, he tweeted, "The coronavirus panic is dumb." Looking back, some of it was, some of
Yeah, I mean, I tend to be on that side of things, to be honest with you. I think that shit was pretty crazy to levy on the people like that. You know, I'm glad I'm in Arizona where it was semi-normal compared to where I'm from, Washington State. It took years for it to get back to normal as opposed to just months out here. But, I mean, for the most part, we can go out and go outside and do things, and people were cool being social and ready for it, you know? Yeah, that shit was insane. That shit was overstepping, overreaching, and I would say, I don't know if fascist is the word, but I can't. It's like a tyrannical move. That's what I'll say.
Some of it wasn't. Fighting over toilet paper in the grocery store is something I will truly never forget. But during the peak of the coronavirus pandemic, Musk reopened his Fremont factory against Alameda County orders. In truly ironic Musk fashion, he would then later test positive for COVID-19. Let us never forget the tweet that aged like absolute milk. Musk is referring in reference to COVID cases in the United States here. That was on March 19th, 2020. The very beginning of the global pandemic that shut down the earth for basically a year. Sam Harris reached out to Elon in 2020, wondering why he was downplaying the seriousness of the COVID-19 pandemic, basically warning him that his huge platform could cause real harm. Musk brushes it off, doubles down, and then ends up in this ridiculous bet over the number of COVID cases in the United States. Fast forward, and now Musk is constantly spewing misinformation on Twitter, attacking people who dare disagree with him, all while claiming to be a defender of free speech. It's wild. It's like he's built these empires, but at what cost? This guy has the opportunity to solve huge problems, but instead he opts for drama on Twitter. It's truly sad to see a man so blinded by his own ego and so blinded by who he thinks he is. We haven't even talked about Starlink, an awesome company that brings internet to so many who don't have it. Internet's giving out satellite in low Earth orbit. Sign me up. But Elon is busy attacking somebody on Twitter. In 2021, Tesla's stock price would absolutely explode, making Elon Musk the wealthiest man on planet Earth.
Elon Musk has officially become the richest person in the world. His net worth has crossed the $400 billion mark, and he's the first person to have that much money.
That much. Oh my God. But the whole middle class is in that motherfucker's bank account. With Bezos and Gates.
Where do I even begin with Twitter? Elon Musk buying Twitter is where I believe Elon truly evolved into the egotistical maniac that he is today. I used to want to work at Twitter. For software engineers, it was a destination company known for its great work culture, great pay, benefits, and all that jazz. But now I wouldn't touch Twitter X, Y, Z with a 10-foot pole. First, he drops the bomb that he's buying Twitter for a mind-blowing $44 billion like it's no big deal. A few months later, he pulls a complete 180, saying he wants to back out because of, fake accounts, I guess. Only to get hit right in the face with a lawsuit. So what does he do? He caves. He buys Twitter anyways and proceeds to kick out all of the top executives and lay off 80% of the staff, basically turning Twitter into a complete ghost town. Oh, and the content moderation, it's a free-for-all now. He didn't even bother paying a substantial number of X employees severance. They would have to sue the world's wealthiest person for the checks and pay that they were rightly entitled and promised to by Elon. When
bitch made behavior. We don't keep saying that. Elon, you displaying that.
Twitter users organized a protest against making users pay for a blue check mark. He banned that account. And this is what's so mind-bending. Like, I swear he's trolling us here. He says that he's obsessed with free speech, But then immediately after taking it over Twitter, he demonstrates an extreme hypocrisy for that very point. Either way, he has built a platform that gives him the biggest megaphone and suppresses people that criticize him. That is not free speech.
Elon's next brilliant idea of letting anyone pay for a blue check led to a wave of fake accounts impersonating major brands and celebrities. It was a disaster. Don't even get me started on the Twitter files. Musk basically threw the company's dirty laundry into the public's face to prove his point about censorship, sparking endless debate online. Musk has ironically contributed to more censorship on his time on Twitter than it had before.
I've been suspended by Twitter a few times. She was in jail every other day, so Twitter jail.
Meanwhile, advertisers are jumping ship and revenue has completely fell off a cliff.
There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go yourself. Go yourself.
Elon is one of the only people in mankind that I think has taken a company almost instantly from a $44 billion company to maybe a tenth of that now. I could go on about Elon Musk on Twitter, but both John Oliver and Johnny Harris have already done great bits and full-length episodes on it, so I'll move on. Just this month, Elon was exposed for cheating in a game, Path of Exile 2.
So Elon Musk is streaming Path of Exile.
Hey, what up,
Probably gonna
I'm covering him. You can't see him in the corner. It's funny. But, you know, he's right here. But yeah, this is the most pathetic shit ever, in my opinion. This takes the cake on pathetic. Not damaging, because he's done way more damage than shit, but just pathetic. Just what the fuck, bro? And if you're doing all this, how do you even have time to be playing games at this level that you're claiming you're playing them at? It don't make no sense at all.
Die. He's playing this bullshit. I thought they nerfed this.
Musk has repeatedly denied these claims, even though he would have to log hundreds, if not thousands of hours to be the rank that he is currently in this game. Han Kitty Tan Kitty says he is a billionaire who cheats in video games for no plausible reason. Professional man-child and Tesla billionaire Elon Musk is deeply unhappy that he's been caught faking clout, and now he's throwing a tantrum, taking away the toys of other tykes who were mean to him. And no, this isn't some far-fetched analogy. Earlier this month, Musk compellingly accused of masquerading as a top-level player of the recently released free-to-play action RPG Path of Exile 2 by paying a skilled gamer to level up a character to the game's top echelons. During a January 7 livestream on X, formerly Twitter, the platform's owner struggled with the very basics of the game, failing to reliably click on certain UI elements. In other words, there was no chance this was the same gamer who'd been controlling a character that would have required many hundreds of hours of grinding to level up.
You're actually like a world-class, incredible video game player.
Yeah.
Paragon board and the build, you're also an innovator there.
Yeah, I've played a lot of video games.
Now, Musk has seemingly had enough of being made fun of. In an apparent attempt to silence his critics, the richest man in the world took aim at American YouTuber Zach Hoyt, a streamer who goes by the handle of Asmongold. Musk took to X, sharing screenshots of DMs between him and the controversial streamer, a privacy-invading practice that, as a community note appended to his tantrum points out, is generally against the platform's terms of service. Asmongold's blue checkmark on the platform, a symbol that used to show someone's identity, had been verified, but which Musk has degraded to something that anyone can get for a monthly fee, also vanished. Musk's argument that Asmongold is a mere pawn who has to
Bitch-made behavior.
Ask his boss for permissions before he can do anything takes some mental gymnastics to understand. Quote, who are these mysterious editors? Musk messaged Asmongold. He is talking about YouTube editors, of which I have one. Asmon was happy to oblige, informing Musk of who his two editors were, which is essentially publicly obtainable information. Interesting, Musk said, seemingly believing that he had exposed a conspiracy that a popular YouTuber works with other people to edit and produce his popular videos. Next, Elon made some questionable gestures at Donald Trump's inauguration rally. Maybe Elon forgot that my heart goes out to you gesture is an underhand type deal and not a overhand type deal. This hasn't been Elon's first indication of Nazism in public display. A couple months ago, he wore a hat that was very reminiscent of Nazi Germany font. Look, I think a handful of these things we can give Elon the benefit of the doubt about, but like, what the f? But all of this is just like, so what the f type behavior to me. This doesn't exactly scream super genius innovator who just wants to make the world a better place. This is like very strange political play behavior. Dr. Philip Lowe describes his experience, and I believe what has truly set Elon Musk off a cliff, which is power. I have known Elon Musk at a deep level for 14 years. Well before he was a household name, we used to text frequently. He would come to my birthday party and invite me to his parties. He would tell me everything about his women problems as sons of highly accomplished men who were married Venuses, were violent and lost their fortunes, allegedly, and were also bullied in high school. We had a number of things in common most people cannot relate to. We would hang out together late in Los Angeles. He would visit my San Diego lab. He invested in my company. Elon is not a Nazi per se. He is something much better or much worse depending on how you look at it. Nazis believed that an entire race was above everyone else. Elon believes he is above everyone else. He used to think he worked on the most important problems. When I met him, he did not presume to be a technical person. He would be the first to say that he lacked the expertise to understand certain data. Now he believes he has all the solutions. All his talk about getting to Mars to maintain light of consciousness or, quote, free speech absolutism is absolute BS. Elon knowingly feeds people to manipulate them. Everything Elon does is about acquiring and consolidating power. That is why he likes far-right parties, because they are easier to control. This is also why he gave himself a $56 billion compensation package, which could have gone to the people actually doing the work and innovations he is taking credit for at Tesla. His lust for power is why he did XAI and Neuralink to attempt to compete with OpenAI and Neurovigil, respectively, despite being affiliated with them. Unlike Tesla and Twitter, he was unable to conquer those companies and tried to create rivals. I fired him with cause in December 2021 when he tried to undermine Neurovigil. Elon did 2 Nazi salutes. He did them for 5 main reasons.
This motherfucker is going in. This is a doctor who's known Elon for 14 years. He had time. He had a lot of time. And he's still going. He's sounding very Doctor-esque with the way he's laying it out, too. Concise. I love it. I love it.
He was concerned that the Nazi wing of the MAGA movement under the influence of Steve Bannon would drive him away from Trump, somewhere in the Eisenhower executive office building rather than in the West Wing, which is where he wants to be. He was already feeling raw over the fact that Trump did not follow his recommendation for Treasury Secretary and that the Senate also did not pick his first choice. 2, he was upset that he had to go to Israel and Auschwitz to make up for agreeing with a Nazi sympathizer online and wanted to reclaim his, quote, power, just like when he told advertisers to, quote, go f*** yourself. This has nothing to do with Asperger's.
Not at all.
That's referring to Elon's claim that he possibly has autism use disorder, but I've known a couple people with autism and they don't do things like this. 3, there are some Jews he actually hates. Sam Altman is amongst them. 4, he enjoys a good thrill and knew exactly what he was doing. And finally, 5, his narcissistic self was hoping that the audience would reflect his abject gesture back to him, thereby showing complete control and dominion over it, and increasing his leverage over Trump. That did not happen. Bottom line, Elon is not a Nazi, but he did give 2 Nazi salutes, which is completely unacceptable.
They were chased by a guy with an axe who wanted they outran him. And they reported, hey, there's a guy with an axe who tried to kill us with an axe. The police did nothing, and that guy with an axe subsequently murdered 2 people.
With an axe?
With the axe.
I'm not even going to comment on this one. Elon Musk claims axe murderer targeted his employees. Cops say they have no idea what he's talking about. We cannot find any incident that matches that description. While making this video, I have actively struggled to cover all of the things that Elon Musk has done. The list could go on ad infinitum. So this brings us to the consequences and conclusion. Elon Musk is a terrible role model for men, young men in particular. Elon is obsessed with power, having 12 kids with 3 different women, none of which he lives with, and one actually entirely disowned him as a father. Sensitive Counter 150 asks, was Musk always that crazy? What happened to him? I honestly admire the guy at one point. I mean, he was a successful business person coming from Africa and was investing in sustainable technology. I remember the first shock was, we will coup however we want tweet. After that, everything seemingly went downwards. Wow. I read his bio book. You can see some sign of tech mogul full of ego, decision making based on ego trips, as well as some erratic behavior, but it didn't seem at the time he was that crazy, at least to me. This was also what I was mentioning earlier, is this is how I feel like I knew Elon Musk before. He was just some crazy eccentric visionary who did some, I don't know, questionable, stupid shit at the time, but not the behavior that we're seeing today. His behavior we see today is borderline crazy, borderline insane. Was I just naive, or did the money ego change him somehow? Chlorheru, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, says he's always been an egotistical shithead, riding other people's coattails and showing himself for the fraud he is when he gains any control. The money and influence just made it worse. He was still the same person at PayPal. He had his delusions of grandeur. We all self-censor and self-regulate our behavior. Some of us, as we gain more power, we just start to do it less, and sometimes not at all. If you revisit, you can see a pattern of him testing the waters of how much an unfiltered edgelord he can be. SG Wormsblink says, you just didn't look hard enough in the past. There were always signs of this from a long time ago. Like how he told his ex-wife Justine to change her hair color to blonde and be a trophy wife as he was the quote alpha, or how he got angry at Zip2 employees who left the office before 9 p.m. Elon Musk's
if you gotta say it, you ain't it. That's all I'm gonna say.
18-year-old daughter has legally changed her name to disassociate herself from billionaire father. Legal filings that came to light Monday show, quote, I no longer live with or wish to be related to my biological father in any way, shape, or form. She said in a petition for both a name change and a new birth certificate. Elon has publicly stated that she is dead to him. This is not what a man is. Elon is not a man. He is a vindictive and borderline cruel boy who is desperate for affirmation and power. We idolize innovators. Steve Jobs was a notorious asshole. Elon Musk is no different, and any person who does 1/10 of the things that Elon does publicly would be seriously reprimanded both professionally and personally. But if you're worth $400 billion, suddenly it's a different story. People are a little more apt to give you leeway. Or you start making excuses for his behavior, blaming his autism use disorder or his Asperger's. Elon Musk has turned into the character Gavin Belson from Silicon Valley.
Let me change the subject. I don't care for your tone, Kara. I'm getting a little tired of this bias against the leaders of our industry. I'm continually creating jobs and helping people, and I'm tired of getting slapped for it. I didn't steal the money I have, and I resent being treated like I did. You know, there is a climate in this country that is very dangerous.
It's dangerous out there for billionaires?
There's that attitude again, Kara. Billionaires are people too. Look at history. Do you know who else vilified a tiny minority of financiers and progressive thinkers called the Jews? Wait a minute. Did you just compare the treatment of billionaires in America today to the plight of the Jews in Nazi Germany? Absolutely.
I think Elon Musk was always like this. It was just more well hidden, operating in the shadows of the tech industry. Money, power, prestige, they don't change you. They just make you more of who you already are. Elon is a power-obsessed individual. Full stop. He's already beaten the financial game of life, so now he must invent a new game to play, the power game. The game of acquiring as much power as you possibly can. Do you genuinely think he believes in the policies of Donald Trump? It's not about belief. It's about proximity. Proximity to power. He begs to be as close and cling to power as much as he possibly can. Elon wishes he was the ruling leader of the free world. He truly believes that life would be perfect and the world would be perfect if everything would just only bend to his will. Even in his best moments, he is a greater source of confusion rather than harmony. But the real issue isn't Elon Musk. The real issue is our idolatry of innovators. When we put people like him on a pedestal, we stop holding them accountable. We excuse this bad behavior because we're dazzled by the myth of genius. The truth is, no one is above criticism, especially when they hold this much power. So the next time you see somebody defending Elon Musk like he's untouchable, ask yourself, are we celebrating his ideas or are we just propagating his cult of personality? Because at the end of the day, Elon Musk is not the future. We are. If you made it this far into the video, my thank you will be these 3 predictions of what I think are going to happen over the next 4 years. I think Donald Trump and Elon Musk are going to have a falling out. I mean, there was already that headline I saw the other day of Donald Trump suggesting shooting Elon Musk into outer space, which is just a hilarious headline, if I'm being totally honest. Like, I feel like every article I read nowadays is a headline from The Onion. At least it feels that way in 2025. This one is a bit more out there, but I think Elon Musk will actually acquire TikTok, or at least the American version of TikTok. He's one of the few people who actually has the capital to do it. And China has already suggested that it's considering and open to the idea of selling to Elon Musk in particular. And 3, I think X as a platform actually makes a full recovery. I believe advertisers come back and it becomes as legitimate of a platform as something even like Facebook, which has recently opted to do a community notes style of content moderation rather than the previous policies they had in place before. I think Facebook walking back some of its policies makes it a lot more akin to a platform like X. And this is just going to be the future that advertisers have to deal with. I mean, if you want to advertise on Facebook, it's the same thing as basically advertising on X now. Let me know how you think this is going to play out in the comments. I'm really eager to hear how you think my predictions will play out. And I'm also eager to hear your predictions. If you're also interested in watching something else, consider watching how Netflix ruined television, how its inevitable decline has followed a very similar trajectory as Elon Musk.
That seems interesting. Hell yeah, man. I'm definitely going to be back to this channel for more videos. Real quick, before we bounce out, let's see what else he's covered, man, in his flourishing career. See how long he's been at it. YouTube changed my life with only 500 subscribers. Interesting. Yeah, I want to watch that. Let's put that on playlist, baby. Yeah. All right. Let's see what he's got going. Interesting. I like it. I quit drinking alcohol. Oh, well, let's see what your results was, my friend. Let's see. All right, I like this, man. This guy's got a lot of videos. 8 months ago. Okay. Hell yeah, Dylan. I'm going to be watching the rise, bro. I know that channel's going to grow for sure. Hopefully mine can follow suit as things go. Man, I like it. I like the channel a lot. Very interesting how he dove into a lot of the scandals and into the character of Elon Musk. I love the detail and the sources and where you the way you did that, man. And it's, shows a lot of what a lot of people are trying to scream from the rooftops, from the hilltops, from everywhere, that they can get a fucking sense of high ground and some vocal range. They're trying to tell you about this guy. And are you going to listen or not is the thing. And it ain't just listening to what people are saying. There's plenty of receipts that speak for themselves, So if you want to ignore it, man, that's on you. That's on you, but the results are also going to be yours to keep, So you might as well wake up and get hip to the game before it's too late. So this next one is about an anti-Elon rally, or probably a series of them, but I know they're going to one. It's from a channel called Channel 5 or something. I can't remember. Let me look real quick. These guys are funny. I saw a video from them the other day that profiled Philadelphia Eagles fans, and it was hilarious. It's how crazy they are, rowdy, and the passion, we'll call it. But Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan, I was cracking up during that video. So I hope this is equally as informative and funny, because that did show you a lot of insight, and it wasn't just, taking the piss out of them. It was actually showing how cool they are in a lot of ways too, but showing how crazy they were. Give you some laughs, give you some real. I think it's the best way to get it to stick, so to speak. So let's go into their anti-Elon rally video and see what went down here.
look at my gray hair, you think I probably don't listen to rap music,
choice.
and you're right. But I heard about the slogan in a podcast, and I thought that is the right idea. Elon Musk, he not like us.
And that's a Kendrick Lamar reference.
I wouldn't know. I know it's a rap music reference. How do the rappers say it?
They not like us.
They not like us. The billionaire shouldn't be able to tell all the rest of us what to do.
Stop the billionaire coup. Elon Musk is literally raiding our government and destroying our country.
I am become meme.
That's the one illegal alien that we have to get rid of.
Meanwhile, Trump and Musk's efforts to expand the power of the executive branch and slash the federal workforce continue.
What they're doing is illegal. He is not a government employee. 300 employees at the National Nuclear Security Administration were fired.
It's a coup. It's a bunch of unelected billionaires who are ransacking our government.
This really does look like 1933 Germany. You know, Hitler did rule via executive order.
38 executive orders.
Just executive order after executive order. And it's unreal. It's fascism at its heart.
Hi, Hitler. What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with Hitler?
Yeah, Trump for emperor.
We want to downsize government.
Little short ass, little fucking. Oh man, so when you throw her ass off of that fucking that median she's standing on.
But make it better.
Stop the fucking billionaires.
He's firing a lot of federal workers. Many of these folks have civil service protection, so these things are against the law.
He's in the IRS today, I hear. He's getting all of our information. They're slashing jobs. They're slashing the Department of Education. They're slashing
Infectious disease experts, baby formula inspectors, livestock disease testers,
People in the FBI,
park rangers, bank regulators,
CDC.
drug addiction and cancer scientists.
basically slashing every resources that we have.
It's kind of like we're gutting the country from the inside out.
And why? Because they want to give themselves a big tax break or they destroy the middle class.
They're just trying to destroy our government, to wipe out the power of the people, and to put oligarchs in charge.
We can't roll over anymore. People are rolling over. It's like, no.
America is resisting fascism like the entire world is.
Because the system sucks. It's done by design, and what we need is a revolution. We really do.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are here live in New York City at Union Square for the anti-Elon Musk, anti-billionaire, stop the coup, fuck the kings protest. We're going to talk to some people about how they feel about everything going on right now.
In this country, I have friends, I have family who are transgender. You can't roll back history. My friend Yvonne Ritter, who just died last year, who was one of the key people at Stonewall.
For context, the Stonewall riots were a series of events that occurred after New York City police attempted to illegally raid and shut down a prominent queer bar in the 60s. It was 6 days of mayhem and is generally considered to be the launch point for the modern gay rights movement.
The other day, we all woke up to see that the T was removed from the website honoring the Stonewall riots.
References to transgender and queer people have been removed from the Stonewall National Monument section on the National Park Service website. This comes as the Trump administration continues to push for federal agencies to only recognize two genders, male and female.
And this is absolutely outrageous. It's like undoing history. It's reversing history. You can't do that. So they might have removed the T, but they can't undo the history. That's why we're here. That's why it's important to have this flag. I'm an immigrant from Ireland. I came here because I was gay. It was a criminal offense in Ireland at the time. And I came here precisely because there was room here if you were queer, if you were gay. Now this policy is reversing that.
President Trump keeps his promise to get wokeness out of the United States.
He's trying to raise everybody that ain't white, it seems, man. It's crazy. And they want to talk about merit and meritocracy and all this shit after they inevitably talk about all the DEI, anti-woke, everything, you know. And personally, for me, I think DEI is a major double-edged sword. There's good that came from it and a lot of ways that it could be abused, you know, like a lot of things. So just to outline, you know, kind of how I see it, but they always follow that up inevitably with it should be meritocracy. But then we see things like 4-star Joint Chiefs of Staff getting replaced with 3-star Joint Chiefs of Staff. We're seeing heads of departments who have no experience. They used to be news anchors and podcasters. It's crazy, man. And we're seeing tech bros making these Doge decisions, and they're literal teenagers to mid-20s.
States Armed Forces as he signs multiple executive orders to reshape the military.
And late today at the White House, President Trump signing an executive order banning transgender women from competing in women's sports.
The administration...
That's something I agree with. if you're biologically male, you can't do physical activities in competition against females. It's not fair, man. It's dangerous in a lot of sports too. Like, we just got to be real about it, man. If we want to change the nomenclature to make it make sense, we could go XX leagues and XY leagues, but man, I don't think it's fair to put other people at risk to validate your sense of self. You have every right to express how you want to express, identify how you want to identify, but you don't have the right to put other people at risk. And also, like, a lot of these records, like Leah Thomas was like the 500th ranked swimmer on the male side, and then is going over and setting female records. Come on, man. It's not right. It shouldn't be allowed. You can express how you want, but go swim against the same cat you swam against the previous season, when you were on the male team. You got to go with where you were born when it comes to things like sports. Fallon Fox is another example, MMA fighter. She was denting chicks' skulls, severely injuring chicks. Your skeleton doesn't change when you go on hormones. It doesn't. You still got all the bone structure. You still have a lot of the muscles. Your testosterone is still significantly higher for a long time. So, yeah, just want to put that out there too. There's nuance to it. It can't be everything on one side is right and everything on one side is wrong. You know what I'm saying? There could be things that you believe in a cause, but not everything about your cause is correct or right all the time. But people act like that, and that's part of the problem of how you create so much opposition, why people don't want to hear each other out, because it's just going to be talking to a wall that's not receptive to any nuance. You got to be nuanced, man. You can believe in rights for trans people, but you can also say it's not fair for for males who transition to a female to compete in sports against women. You can also say that too. And that's personally how I feel. Everybody deserves to have rights, but you don't have the right to endanger or take down prospects for other people just because you want to be validated.
Has issued orders for hospitals, for instance, to stop providing health care for young people, for children, for adults who are transgender.
President Trump recently signed an executive order.
I'll be honest with you, like the kids thing. I don't think kids should have. You can't get a tattoo. Why can you get a sex? Like that's I'm all for it once you're an adult, but kids, we need to treat that like we do a lot of other, like everything else. Joining the military, drinking, driving, everything. It needs to have a threshold of when you can do it. And when you're a legal adult, in my opinion, should be when that happens. Live how you want to live, but adults should not be treating kids or talking to men, because that leaves so much gray area too. Think about that. They get paid and they make significant financial gain by accessing a whole different demographic of people to provide, or to provide significantly expensive procedures for. It's a money grab for a lot of people. It's not rooted in compassion and understanding. No, it's not. If that was the case, we'd say, hey, wait till you're an adult and make a decision that you can't reverse, not while you're a kid. Just how I see it. That's how I see it. Everyone deserves their rights, but I don't think kids need to be having access to changing their life permanently. If they can't even get a tattoo, anything less than that doesn't, or anything more severe than that seems like it should be off the table, right?
Halting federal support for gender-affirming health care for people under 19 years of age.
Can you imagine being in the...
That's wild. The under 19 part's wild. Do they mean... Well, no, man. See, when you're 18, you're a legal adult, right? That's, in my opinion, that's when it should be accessible, But hey,
middle of treatment, and all of a sudden a directive comes from Washington to stop that treatment. My husband is a pediatric hematologist oncologist. I've been inspired by him as I watched him care for children with sickle cell and with cancer. And I understand how important trials are and research. So the cuts, the directives from Washington have literally cut and threaten the life, therefore, of many children across America and young people.
The Trump administration has told federal health agencies to pause external communications.
So it's very practical. It's not just rhetoric. It literally impacts real lives, families who love their children, who care for their families.
He's acting like a king or wannabe dictator, and I think it's pathetic.
This country is moving very rapidly under Trump into an authoritarian form of society.
We have a government where powers are supposed to be separated between equal branches.
The executive branch is not authorized to simply defund programs that have been appropriated by Congress. If they're seizing power, they're firing civil service members to put in loyalists.
Overnight, President Trump firing the nation's top military leadership in an unprecedented purge.
The Republican Congress is not checking him on this. They're too timid to do so, and that's why I'm here. I hope we can get back to the democracy we've had for 250 years.
What are some of the executive orders that you found most egregious in this first month of the new term?
Oh, end of birthright citizenship, without a doubt.
President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship has kicked off an unprecedented legal battle over immigration policy.
I'm also worried about there's a bill been introduced in the House to make a national ban on abortion.
I think the executive orders fire.
Yeah, wouldn't that birthright citizenship ban affect his own kids? Pretty sure Melania wasn't a citizen when Barron was born, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the same case. I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong on this, but I believe this is what I came across information-wise, was that Ivanka wasn't a citizen either when she had his first 3 children. I believe they're all from her.
Hiring inspector generals, I would say, because they are the watchdogs of our society.
Within days of taking office, President Trump fired more than 17 inspectors general across the federal government.
Eliminating any DEI in government programs, which has frightened other agencies and people to stop teaching history and stop teaching about our true history. And
all agencies were directed to put DEI staff on leave. Employees ordered to remove pronouns from their signatures. Diversity inclusion programs shuttered.
You know, I stand by DEI.
What's a DEI? How do you just determine who is a DEI employee? Are you talking about people like in DEI departments? That would be the only way that would make sense to me. That verbiage, rather. I mean, because if you're talking about people who've been hired for positions that are just general positions, how do you know? Has to be people for departments. That's the only way that can make any kind of.
I am not going to give up on these terms. Language is structural. It's not just a matter of, exchanging DEI with excellence. I think you have to stick and fight for these terms that we've so hard fought to have inserted in our institutions. I'm active in the cultural world, and I don't let go of it so quickly.
Why do you think they're attacking it so much?
Because they are racist and equate any challenge to the economic system in this country with people who are not white, and it's actually the opposite. Without immigrants or people who represent diversity in very different aspects, we would be in a much, much, much worse condition.
100%. And then they act like they don't have the vast majority of the economy in their bank accounts. How can it be us? How can it be anybody below that? How can it be anybody coming in that's a foreigner affecting things more than a billionaire? That don't make any sense. They want you to believe that shit, and if you buying that, they laughing at you because you a fool.
Tonight, Walmart joining a growing list of companies rolling back diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives.
Why do you think there is so much focus on DEI right now?
Because I always think scapegoating people is easy, and I think that they're racists.
Stop the fucking billionaires.
Top 5 worst billionaires, what comes to mind?
Well, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, if he actually is a billionaire. Bill Gates, pretty bad, but not as bad as Jeff Bezos. And trying to think of another one.
Larry Fink.
Larry Fink. There you go.
Yeah.
Zuckerberg's also a fucking terrible billionaire.
As far as wealth distribution goes, do you feel like anybody should be a billionaire?
Probably not. But the thing is that what's more important is that the billionaire shouldn't be able to tell all the rest of us what to do.
Right.
I think they can earn $1 billion, but then they have to have fair taxation.
How billionaire Jeff Bezos pays 0 in taxes.
Because we want to encourage people, and to be, I mean, you've hit my main issue here, but they hate the government. The government is set up for them to succeed.
The same goes for larger corporations. Smaller companies barely survived the pandemic, while larger corporations simply coasted through. The reason for this was the higher taxes.
And they get a lot of benefits from it. Everybody knows, right? Elon has billions in government contracts, et cetera, especially his space program.
SpaceX alone has received $19 billion from the federal government, and it is.
I wish they would reword that. They say SpaceX has received $19 billion from the federal government. If they said it, phrased it, SpaceX has received $19 billion in taxpayer dollars, that's our money. We paid that. You paid that. I paid that. It's out of your pocket and mine. Several times over. You know? Ain't a billion people in America. Was it 300 and some million? You do the math. $19 billion. Let's do that. Let's just do that. How many? Let's see how much on the SpaceX alone that we've all paid Elon Musk out of our pockets. How many taxpayers in America? Because the whole population is not. There's kids, you know? Taxpayers in the U.S. Let's see here. 153.8 million tax returns were filed in 2022. So, fuck it. We'll go with that number. Oh, wait. So, yeah, that's the latest data they have. So, 153.8 million. Okay. Let's see. 153. 1, 8. Boom. And we're going, okay, so we have to divide that 19 billion by that. 19 billion divided by 153.8 million. So all of us, taxpayers, have contributed directly to Elon Musk's SpaceX contracts to date of whenever this aired. $123.54 if I round up. Just in his pocket from us, and we didn't give it to him. We didn't decide to. Someone else's rich friends decided to, because I know I wouldn't have handed him that money. So just to put it into perspective real quick, that's just on that alone, let alone Tesla and Neuralink. Let's see if she breaks those down too, and we can get a total. Ooh, get back up there.
Is poised to take in several billion a year.
At the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest?
Real quick, let's see if we can. How much total grant money has Elon Musk received? Let's see here. What's it come up with? Report. Let's see. Report says, and this is from Benzinga. Report says Elon Musk businesses have been awarded $38 billion in government contracts since 2003. Oh, wee. So, and this is being, man, let's just do that same number. 150, oh my God, 38 billion. 38 billion divided by 153.8 million. Ooh, I went too far. Go back. There we go. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I mean, it's not exact, but going off of, hold on. Boom. Going off of, damn, I got it correct. Going off of the numbers that, you know, we looked at, it's $247. So almost $250 out of each of our pockets have gone to Elon Musk. Out of each of our pockets, yo. Just for his companies. And we don't see anything back when they turn a profit, do we? It's not like it's a loan. It's a grant. They just give it to them. And if they do have, I wonder how much it's been in loans too. But we're not getting that back as taxpayers. I'm not seeing any kind of dividends paid back. Are you? Because this is mind-blowing. This is mind-blowing. $38 billion. And he's worth 242, so I wonder how much of that would be possible without that $38 billion. What would Elon be worth without that $38 billion? What do you think?
For you?
No, because first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract.
He is living off government contracts.
Yeah.
And cutting off
USAID to countries that are desperately in need of food. Meanwhile, he's sitting on piles of cash.
Backlash after Elon Musk seized control of USAID, the agency that provides U.S. humanitarian assistance around the world.
Oh, the USAID is ridiculous, and the lies around it are unreal. And if you turn on Fox News, it's literally just a propaganda machine.
Angry Democrats throwing a hissy fit after Elon Musk dropped the Doge hammer on the Hunter Biden of government agencies.
Supposedly there's...
It's funny to see how quick he turned when his friend got chopped, and how he went from laughing and celebrating all these people getting their livelihoods taken away and putting their families in jeopardy. And then when it happened to someone he knew, it hit close to home, motherfucker put on the puppy dog eyes and started pleading. He's not this. He's not that. None of these motherfuckers are, man. For the most part, I'm sure there's some in there that are unqualified and leeching off for the system. But you ain't even been there long enough to make an assessment to see. You know what I'm saying? So it's funny how they changed it too. I don't know if they're going to show that or not, but I don't remember that guy's name for Fox News. But he's also displaying a lot of bitch-made behavior.
There's $200 million worth of food that's being held up in ports right now. Condoms that need to go to Africa. AIDS medication. It's ridiculous.
Around the world, we are doing important medicine to help things from getting out of hand, like COVID. Those things, we are a big interconnected world. Those things come here.
All the money to fight diseases in other countries, that's going to come back to bite us when those diseases land here on our shores.
But hell, I don't want Ebola to come here and mutate. I don't want AIDS to mutate because,
I should note that following Trump and Musk's defunding of USAID, they've since decided to reinstate funding for Ebola and HIV research.
We have, for example, turned on funding for Ebola prevention and for HIV prevention. Yes, correct.
Still, many of Elon's critics view his gutting of USAID as a strange, unnecessary thing, given its relative small percentage in the overall government spending budget.
USAID spending, foreign aid is not a large percent of our budget. Defense is a tremendous one. Social Security, Medicare, but foreign aid is a tiny, tiny fraction of American spending.
USAID's $43 billion budget is a tiny fraction of what the government spends, about 1%.
It's about $100 per taxpayer in America, although, if you have to figure out how much of that is really well-off people versus poor people, it's not on average. So it's a tiny, tiny amount of money that pays off tremendously for the benefit for Americans. People look at us as positively around the world.
Its support is a critical lifeline for people in need around the world.
Plus, we should all look at this. We're all in this shit together, right? I mean, we do got to take care of our problems here first, but it's, there's enough to do that. We just got too many greedy motherfuckers in here. We got enough to do that and to help out, man. And everybody should be helping out in the ways they can. We all got different strengths and weaknesses. We all got different needs and surpluses, resources. So let's do what we can to make this world stronger, right? It should be the idea. Motherfuckers just want, for whatever reason, act like they're not human, man. Humanity's humanity, man. It's in the name, hue. We're different colors, supposed to be different. Get over yourself.
Helping an estimated 32 million children suffering malnutrition and bringing food, water, shelter, and health care to victims of natural disasters.
In addition to being a humanitarian disaster, there's just no goodwill. We will become the hated country in the world, just like Germany was under the Nazis.
Some former officials say it could leave fragile countries more vulnerable to the influence of nations like Russia and China.
They're also cutting programs to help hungry kids here. It's a ridiculous survival of the fittest that we probably should move past as a civilization just a little bit.
Hey man, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Our show's called Channel 5 on YouTube. Yep, that's right. You're watching Channel 5. What's up, my C5 family? As many of you guys know, I've been to many events just like that one in Union Square. And everywhere I go, without fault, whether it be a political rally, a convention, anything, one thing is constant. Somebody is gonna stink. But me as an interviewer, I can't smell bad. Because if I want people to open up and really speak their mind, I can't have stinky armpits, stinky skin, stinky anything. That's why I use Philly, Mando. Huntington Beach Public Library, Mando. Vegas Tunnels, Mando. In the woods hunting for the Jersey Devil. Pro Sport, Invisible Cream. I love Mando so much that I wish I had some to give out at the Union Square protest. But guess what? I have some great news for you guys. As a special...
Fucking funny, man. These guys are hilarious.
Live at shopmando.com. shopmando.com. Please show your support and tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
Jesus. Oh my God, I hate my mouse.
With Mando. All right, back to the streets of Union Square.
You seem to like Trump.
I love Trump, Daddy Trump. Trump for emperor.
So how do you think about this whole concept of a coup happening?
It's hilarious. I'm out here to watch the shit show in the tro.
What do you think about Elon Musk?
I think he's hot. He needs a date a tranny.
Oh my God.
No, I totally would fuck him so bad.
Oh my
So you don't
God.
think the Hitler salute was legit?
Degenerate. Why is that what
Hitler.
you're talking about?
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with Hitler?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, some people would say a lot of things.
8 million Jews can tell you.
A trans person that loves Hitler is like, it's like fucking black people loving Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, what the fuck? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And wow, that is a severely confused human being. To each their own. Glad I ain't you though.
What's wrong with Hitler? This is America. Everyone's entitled to their own beliefs and
all good, baby.
Trump, more shrimp. More shrimp.
Always room for more shrimp. Definitely room for less Trump. So if there's one message for the people of America at home or worldwide, less Trump, more shrimp. Heard it here first.
You have anything to say to the world?
Definitely like stand up to fascism. There's a hostile takeover of the government happening.
Dope,
bunch of billionaires are reaping the benefits from it, and we're all getting fucked. So
popcorn,
people gotta hit the streets and make it happen. Also, like
butterfly,
more shrimp, less Trump.
Obviously, everybody at the rally was militantly anti-Elon, but a few of his supporters showed up to speak their minds.
I'm a Democrat for 45 years, no longer. So I put a lot of those people in office who voted for things that quite frankly, they're stealing money from us with all these NGOs that are being investigated. I like Elon Musk. Keep doing it. Keep looking at where our money is going and traveling to. I don't want to support war and our military dying or anybody else dying in any foreign countries.
You learn that like there's hundreds of billions of dollars going to these so-called NGOs. And it's your tax dollars that are funding things that are fundamentally anti-American.
Like you, motherfucker. Like you, Elon.
Going back to Doge, though, can you think of an example of them actually like cleaning things up and helping us save money so far, NGOs?
Well, there's a whole list. And, you know, unfortunately, I was hit by a car. I can't remember everything. I have a brain issue. Yeah. But the thing that, I do know is, like, giving prophylactics to, like, Guatemala or, you know, raising money for some Sesame Street DEI or LBGT thing going on in another country.
Drag shows in Ecuador, atheism in Nepal, trans comic books in Peru.
All these NGOs that are in other countries getting money from you and you and you and you, all of our taxes. Where is this money going? I like the Doge. I want to know where my money's going. Yeah. I want to know why I can't afford to buy a steak, which is $22. I want to know why I can't afford to buy eggs.
Well, I would think it has something to do with the weapons manufacturers that are being subsidized by government contracts as opposed to DEI initiatives.
Well, you know, the military-industrial complex has definitely been infiltrated with people who are corrupt, and I agree with you. And I hope that those contracts are looked at and found out and killed and canceled. And I hope people are held accountable and go to jail.
But what you said is also true about what a lot of people in the recovery community call the nonprofit industrial complex, which is these massive NGOs that are being funded and the money goes nowhere, just to salaries for activists.
Not only salaries for activists, but also many of these NGOs are semi-sophisticated money laundering operations for billionaires who embed their wealth in nonprofits to avoid paying taxes. Elon Musk himself owns a $5 billion charity called the Musk Foundation with no no employees or staff. And notable other billionaires and Trump allies, like Jeff Bezos, owns a $100 million nonprofit with the stated goal of combating homelessness, or rather, funding partner organizations who take that money and then go fight homelessness. In the city of Seattle, of all places, where nothing has significantly changed. But that doesn't seem to really concern wealthy NGO and nonprofit investors like Musk and Bezos. After all, it's not just for PR and tax purposes. As scholar Ruth Wilson
$100 million to help homelessness, but there's more homelessness. You could buy buildings and furnish them and put apartments and affordable units, rehab type units, starter units, whatever you want to call them, get on your feet units. You could buy so many of those with that money, but you're just sending it to pay people to figure out the problem. The problem is you need one organization that you fund if you're going to do that. You don't need a whole bunch of them, and these people are getting paid to do it. So if they solve the problem, then their funding stops because there's nothing to solve anymore. So they're not incentivized to actually fucking make progress on this shit. They're incentivized to make it worse so they can keep getting their annual raises and keep fucking leeching off Elon's teeth. Or not Elon's teeth, the government teeth. Elon's leeching off the teeth. When it should be Elon just buying fucking, or not Bezos, that's what they're talking about, I'm sorry. Bezos could have just bought properties and had programs in place himself, but fuck me, what do I know, right?
Gilmore puts it, the non-profit industrial complex is also dependent on surveillance and control. The rich have a vested interest in maintaining the status quo, particularly when it comes to wealth distribution and control of media and information streams. So control of any non-profits in the social justice or so-called revolutionary realm allows them to do a few things. But most importantly, it allows them to create a quasi-welfare style financial dependency amongst the leaders of these causes and threaten to pull funding if they don't fall in line with the imposed narrative and agenda of government agencies and private corporations. They can also collect intel to either share with law enforcement or use to entrap, cancel, and dismantle anyone getting too spicy. Now, obviously not all NGOs are CIA psyops to dismantle revolutionary causes and launder taxable income for oligarchs. But to act like the NGO issue that Elon Musk is citing as just a conservative talking point that he's pulling out of his ass is insane. Whether or not he's actually going to do anything about it is a different conversation. But it's still a problem, and one that I hope gets solved.
Do you think there is such a concept as like the non-profit industrial complex? Like, do you think there is a degree of embezzlement when it comes to some of these organizations?
No, I'm not. No,
Come on
Don't
now.
I think nonprofits have stepped in to do the work that the government does not,
Yeah.
and so they're doing.
They're run by people, though. People are inherently corruptible. So statistically speaking, there has to be some corrupt ones. Why can't people look at nuance, even if there's negative on their side? You have to acknowledge it. It's crazy to me. This is why no side or nobody outside of your side will look at you as credible, because you'll say what you believe on the stuff that they can agree with, but when it comes to something that's true that they believe that you don't agree with, you'll never acknowledge it, especially if it's the truth about your party that's negative, an inconvenient truth. That's the single biggest detriment to all the discourse going on when it comes to political ideologies, socioeconomic issues, all of this shit.
Really important work like providing free legal services to undocumented immigrants, providing health care where our system doesn't provide it. So I think they're doing really critical life-saving work. And without nonprofits holding up a system that is, not serving everyone, people won't get care, they won't get legal representation, they won't get the services they need.
Channel 5 Live Worldwide, Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with custers. And 5 is the best number.
Hey man, thanks for that web link. It's really working. I don't know if you guys missed the memo, but we just dropped an entire feature film. That's right, a full-blown movie at www.dearkellyfilm.com.
Dear Kelly Film.
Huh. That stuck up on me at the end of that video. We're going to throw a like on that bad boy, though. I'm already subscribed, but yo, that was fascinating. Channel 5, man, with Andrew Callahan. I like the channel a lot. Support it. Shout out to you. It's cool to see some of the sentiments floating around on both sides of the at the rallies and the protests, the demonstrations, whatever we want to say. But yo, fascinating that people get so lost in the sauce on both sides that they can't see anything outside of what they believe. They can't possibly be wrong about anything, and their team can't either. That sucks, man. That's gonna hold us back. A lot. A lot. We're going to have to meet in the middle. We're going to have to discuss these things with each other with an open mind, and we're going to have to put our own ideas through through the same amount of scrutiny, if not more, than you do the quote-unquote opposition. Because you better be standing on business, and you better be standing on a firm spot to be able to be standing on business. Because if you're standing on a flimsy foundation, all you're going to do is sink, and you think you're standing on business, so you're not going to move while you're sinking, and you're just going to end up getting enveloped in the earth, man. And you're going to fucking suffocate. So, best thing you can do is make sure you're standing on solid ground. Put yourself and your own beliefs through more scrutiny than you do of people who you disagree with, and you might end up in a better spot. And I guarantee you'll end up in a better spot. Anyway, I had a couple more videos lined up. This is getting pretty long. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see how long these hoes are. 14 minutes. 7:15. So we'll do this one. Working for Elon Musk, ex-employee reveals his management strategy from the Wall Street Journal. Let's check this out, and then we're going to call it a night.
If you're talking to Elon or you want to have a conversation with Elon and you get that opportunity to talk to Elon, you need to be concise, quick.
There's definitely 2 a.m. texts and 6 a.m. conference calls.
When I used to go into meetings with him, I used to always stop by our barista and I would get a couple espressos and chug that down and then go into the meeting.
He has never said this, but I've watched it. You have 30 seconds to make your point.
Elon Musk is known by his employees to be intense. When he took over Tesla in 2008, he sent the company into crisis mode to jumpstart his vision of how to reinvent the auto industry. Now, he appears to be using a similar management playbook to remake Twitter. We spoke with former Tesla and SpaceX employees to better understand how Musk became known for his cutthroat and tireless management style, and what that may mean for his future employees. Step one for Musk is to rally employees around a lofty company mission. It's exactly what inspired Carl Medlock to join Tesla in 2009.
We were all so excited about the brand. I mean, we're all working 80, 100 hours a week. We kind of lost track of our families, our passions, our hobbies, and all that stuff, but we loved what we were doing. I never once had Elon or saw Elon do a rah-rah meeting like that.
Medlock now runs his own electric vehicle repair shop in Seattle. He said he was terminated from Tesla in 2013 over a misunderstanding with his direct manager. Garrett Reisman was similarly inspired by the mission of SpaceX and joined in 2011.
Side note, I love how whenever they show like somebody's occupation, or they'll show like a leader walking through like some facility, they're always like pointing at shit. Oh yeah, this, that. You see that? And somebody be writing down. That shit cracks me up, man. Just the stock footage trumps.
It's a very demanding environment. But by and large, it's not because of him cracking the whip. You know, making human life multiplanetary, getting to Mars, having a colony on Mars, is something that motivates pretty much everybody there at SpaceX.
Reisman left SpaceX in 2018 to teach astronautical engineering at the University of Southern California. He said that after 7 years at SpaceX, he wanted to work somewhere less intense. Yet at Twitter, the mission isn't exactly saving the world.
They are talking about protecting free speech, which of course is important, but it is not as dramatic as trying to go to Mars.
Tim Higgins is a tech and automotive reporter for the Wall Street Journal and author of Power Play, a book that traces the rise of Tesla and Elon Musk.
Well, the challenge that Elon is going to have at Twitter is, what are the stakes?
Neither Elon Musk nor Twitter responded to requests for comment. The company's mission is what Musk hopes will drive people to be hardcore, a term he uses to describe working long hours at high intensity.
You just have to put in, 80 to 100-hour weeks every week.
I would see people at 2 o'clock in the morning because we finished up an event and we were all still energized because we were having such a good time.
And Musk has used this idea of hardcore to rally his team over the years as they approach hard challenges. For example, in 2012, when Tesla was preparing to ramp up production of the Model S luxury sedan, Musk sent his team an email with the subject line, "Ultra Hardcore," telling them to prepare for a level of intensity that most of them had never experienced before. About 3 weeks after taking over at Twitter, Musk sent a similar email. But hundreds of employees opted to leave the company rather than sign up for Musk's vision of Twitter 2.0.
The challenge here is Elon has inherited a huge workforce, and he has to convince them to be on Team Elon. And we're seeing him try to go through those ranks of people to find the talent that he's going to need to pivot the company to a private Twitter. And it's messy.
Musk himself leads by hardcore example.
I sleep on the couch over there. Last time I was here, I actually slept literally on the floor because the couch was too narrow.
I showed up at work early one day, and it was just me and him and one security guy in the entire 5.5 million square feet. And I didn't know he was there, right? And at the factory, when you there's walkways and safety areas and stuff like that. When nobody's there, I just got on a bicycle riding around, and here Elon is asleep on this engineer's desk.
In November, Musk tweeted that he was sleeping at Twitter's offices in San Francisco. And it's not just his time, but his money.
How much did you put into this company?
Oh man, about $55 million.
In 2008, when Tesla was at its darkest moment and he put in his personal last millions of dollars to fund it, he was even, couch surfing in Menlo Park and paying my business expenses with personal credit card debt, right? His approach is to do anything required to keep his businesses competitive. And he lived that every single day when I worked for him.
Conrad left Tesla in 2011 for Renault,
that.
Nissan, Mitsubishi.
People that I've talked to with Elon talk about how he, on one hand, is incredibly inspiring. But on the other hand, a lot of people will say he was also exhausting and mercurial, and after a while, they just couldn't keep up with him.
There is also a history of employees at Tesla and SpaceX alleging misconduct at the companies. Musk is also known to quickly make his companies leaner. When he became CEO of Tesla, he cut about 20% of the workforce. About a week after he took over Twitter, Musk laid off roughly 50% of the staff, according to a document seen by the Journal. And people familiar with the matter estimated that likely over 1,000 have resigned. Former employees have said that this cutthroat approach instills in them this feeling that anyone working for Musk is the best of the best.
Back in the day at Tesla, Elon would often say that people who work for him are special forces.
He wants to hire a key engineer who in his mind has way more value than, say, 100 engineers, and to deploy those top talent on the hardest problems and be able to move faster and not have the same kind of level of bureaucracy.
Former employees have said that Musk avoids traditional corporate hierarchy.
If Elon was interested in something you were doing, he would come and talk directly to you. He's not going to go through a bunch of different layers of management and have the information filter up.
Musk also motivates employees to work harder by raising the financial stakes.
When Elon became CEO of Tesla, the economy was in shambles. It was the Great Recession, and there was huge questions about whether people were going to want to buy a luxury car, and not just a luxury car that was electric. Similarities to Twitter today: we've got an uncertain economy. The company needs to start generating more money. It has a huge debt load. It has to find its place in this social media world that's under a lot of pressure as the ad market it kind of contracts.
In November, Musk wrote in an email to Twitter employees that without significant subscription revenue, there is a good chance Twitter will not survive the upcoming economic downturn. Musk is still in the early stages of setting up his strategy for Twitter and finding people he trusts to help him transform the company.
At SpaceX, if you proved yourself to be capable, innovative, especially on a technical level, then that led to very, very rapid advancement throughout the company.
If I were an employee at Twitter right now, I'd probably just do your job. Don't let them know your name.
Don't try to stand out. Don't try to stand out. He gonna ask you because he gonna think of something to ask, and he only gonna be able to think of things he knows if he's gonna think of things to swing that axe at. You could blindly swing it, but I get where he's coming from with that. Goodness gracious, man. Goodness gracious. Well, I think we're going to leave it on that note because this other video, a video essay about efficiency, isn't as directly related to Elon. So maybe we'll incorporate that in another stream. But fascinating dive into the background and the workings of one Elon Musk. Felon Musk, as I like to call him. We'll see what happens where this ends up. We'll see where his stocks and his companies go. We'll see what happens with Tesla. That shit is tanking right now. It is a massive, massive, massive company. But yeah, we'll see how this results. And then we'll see what the next administration does too. You know what I'm saying? So I know we got a long way to go with this one. But, we'll see. There will be a follow-up. Well, at least in theory, they say. We'll see. But I think the best thing to do really is stay calm, tend to your business, You know, spend time with your loved ones and things you like to do, your passions. Stay as grounded as you can and as centered as you can. And then, as with everything else, this too shall pass. You know, we'll see what it's like on the other side. You know, everything ebbs and flows in society and over cycles of time. You know, that's another fascinating thing, how there's distinct stages in cycles that happen. And we're in the upheaval one right now. We're similar to where they were before the last Great War, you know, and then after that, there was a period of abundance and opulence. So hopefully after the upheaval, we can see that worldwide, have the world come together, because we're more unified against the BS than ever, but there's also seemingly more of the BS than ever, you know. So both teams are pretty strong right now, BS and anti-BS. So on that note, hopefully you ain't with the bullshit, and we can keep progressing towards a better world collectively, all contributing our piece. And yeah. And if you want to hear a little soundtrack for that, like I said before, music from my band, my hip-hop crew, my solo stuff is all linked down in the description of this bad boy. And I hope everybody has a great evening. I'll holler at y'all next stream. Most likely tomorrow. Stuff's coming up. We'll have some meetings and stuff like that too, making it a little difficult. And I got some things going on in life that I'm handling on the family front too. Sometimes I'm not able to get to it like I want to, but striving for tomorrow at latest next couple of days. But I'll see y'all soon, and we'll keep the convo rolling.